It's your birthday. What's going on? It's your boy Crypto Blood. Happy New Year. Finally, 2018 is here. I had an awesome time just kicking it back. Really, I didn't even do much, people. I'm not a partier. I don't go clubbing and stuff. Contrary to the track we listening to. Never really got into the club scene too much because I didn't want that drama, people. But again, Happy New Year. And man, I'm excited for this coming year. We had a nice kickoff session with Nick from Truth Blitz on our block party episode #1. We got a lot of good feedback, positive vibes. People were loving it, so we're excited. I'm excited to continue that going on. And man, much success and blessings to you guys for this coming year. And I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. So today we're done with the Marco's Christmas crypto countdown, but I wanted to show you guys kind of the rundown for all of them. I think I missed one day of actually covering these coins, and I can't remember which one. It may have been Funfair, I believe, or it may have been two of them. Funfair for sure. I think I did not get to cover, but there you go, people. There's Marco's countdown, his hodl list, and yes, he is hodling all of these, believe it or not. And I want to read you the email that he sent me. I hope he doesn't have a problem with me or mind me reading this. This was accompanied with the image that you see here. So it says here, Happy New Year, CB. Here are my final gains for the crypto countdown. I am a hodler, so I haven't sold any of these. Plus, I have a few other Clif picks, Proppy, Sandcoin, Zype. I've got Zype too. That didn't make the list. I closed out the year with a 454% return on my crypto portfolio with an outstanding 7-figure gain. This is due to in large to Clif High. So he's just thanking Clif and the Half Past Human crew. The lives of me and my family and my close friends have been dramatically altered for the better. Still hard to believe, with Very being my first ICO in late May, just 7 short months ago. Thanks to you as well, CB, for reviewing my daily countdown on your vids, hosting the Webbot rooms, and for all you do. Love you, brother. Man, love you too, man. I really appreciate that. I'm sure Clif does as well. If Clif sees this video, definitely sure he appreciates that. And really, man, to be honest with you, that's why I do this day in and day out, to build that camaraderie with the community, the Webbot community. I know we've had, you know, drama between some of us in the Webbot community this past year, but all in all, I really appreciate everyone. It's a very unique community, and I can't wait till we put something together this in 2018 to kind of basically meet up with everyone, if we, well, you know, as many people as possible here in the States, and maybe, you know, years to come we'll do things in other countries, because we have many members from around the world. And much love to you guys for sure. That's why I do this every day, I'm telling you. So I appreciate it, Marco. And yeah, let's get right into I want to review the market cap really quickly before we get cracking here. So we are sitting at 629 billion in market cap, total market cap. Bitcoin's dominance is steadily dropping, people. We're at 36.1%. So that means with the increase, we've seen an increase in market cap, but dominance for BTC has dropped. So that means capital inflows are heading into other coins, i.e. Ripple, which I'm very saddened by. Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, Litecoin. You know, a lot of these altcoins are up today. And someone was telling me about Raya blocks. I have not looked into that yet. I think Big O asked me about that. I'll need to look into that. They're up 55%. One thing I do want to say, and I was telling my buddy John App, my homeboy down in North Carolina, I was telling him in regards to Ethereum is a unique scenario or situation, I should say, because many of the tokens that we hold, invest, or trade or whatnot in cryptocurrencies are actually ERC20 tokens. So with that being said, when we see a nice, we got a pop in Ethereum or Ether, I'm sorry, over the night. It's up to 800 and some change now. When we see inflows into Ethereum, quite naturally you have to believe that I would say a decent portion of that capital inflow into Ether is not just staying into Ether, it's actually going into the actual ERC20 tokens that reside on Ethereum's network. So my philosophy, my theory on when you guys want to gauge, you know, how the tokens, the ERC20 tokens will behave or perform going forward, look at the capital inflows into Ether, because it's a one way in, one way out scenario. We have to get Ether in order to buy the tokens. So if we see a rise in Ethereum or Ether, most likely that can be a telltale sign that money is going to actually overflow into some of the tokens. So just a little tidbit, little kind of analysis that I noticed over the last year with Ether. So you can kind of use that as a barometer to see how tokens are going to perform in the short run from those types of moves from Ether. So let's take a look at Crypto Blood's chart, and I did share this link on Twitter, so you guys can kind of keep up with how I'm tracking things, you know, in between videos. And one interesting thing here that I saw is, and I told you guys about this, whenever you're drawing trend lines, support, resistance, and the market touches that area after you actually drew it, it's confirmation that that is a true and widely used line for the market. It's a general consensus that that is true to the overall psychology of the market. So I was glad to see, because I kind of felt like this could happen. It could bounce off the back of that. I'm glad to see that it did test that and bounce right back off. This is on the hour chart, so that's a nice wick showing good buying orders there off of the back of that line. So I don't know, I think we'll maybe tread here for a little bit, but I believe we should be heading up from here, hopefully. There's no guarantees, as always. I try to tell you guys, anyone that tells you for sure something is going to happen, they're delusional, and they're trying to fool you. Either they're delusional or they're just trying to fool you, because at any point we could have some fundamental news come out, negative fundamental news, that could just totally erase any technical analysis done by any trader. Doesn't matter how good they are. So just keep that in mind. Nothing is 100% guaranteed. You should know that, right? So let's take a look at this article I wanted to go over today, and it pertains to that. And I did a video about the Segwit2x hard fork that I think happened on the 28th, I believe. Well, a viewer of mine A sub of mine actually told me that he said, you know this, and I'm sorry I don't remember your name. I try to make sure I note this type of stuff to give credit where credit is due. He told me, it's like, this is not even the same Segwit2x that was attempted and basically aborted back a few months ago. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. And this is why we have to always do more due diligence and just, you know, look into things more, because the initial article, the most recent one about Segwit2x, actually came from Cointelegraph, and they made no mention of this not being the same one from a few months ago. They didn't do their due diligence either. So at any rate, they've done a new article, and it kind of goes over this new Segwit2x. And so I want to read this to you guys and just, you know, keep you guys up to speed with what's going on. So it says here, the new Segwit2x, a rival of the original hard fork designed to help the scalability issues of Bitcoin, was scheduled to happen at block number 501,000 roughly. The block was mined at around 6 p.m. UTC, December 28th, and the team behind the project announced its official launch. So here's the tweet from that team, Segwit2x. This is crazy. So the original Segwit2x, the Segwit2x movement has originally started in May of 2017 as a direct result of the New York agreement. The idea behind the agreement, originally signed by more than 50 leading Bitcoin companies, was to achieve a compromise on how to scale Bitcoin for a larger audience. One of the sides, the small blockers, wanted to implement the second layer solution called Segwit, which did indeed take place on August 24th of this year, or last year I should say. Now, that was the first part of the compromise. The other part of the deal was designed to appease the big blockers by increasing Bitcoin's block size limit to 2 megabytes. However, this was never followed through with directly violating the agreement. The fork was slated to happen on November 16th. However, as the developers unveiled the actual code for the hard fork, a vastly negative reaction from the Bitcoin community immediately followed. The lack of replay protection, and I talked about all of this, the differences between the different Bitcoins, and I did a video about that. I'll try to find it for you guys, so I'll repost. But it says here that the lack of replay protection, along with general concerns about the safety of a possible hard fork, gave rise to an entire movement against Segwit2x, aptly called No 2x. So it goes on to say here, after several weeks of controversy, the fork was canceled on November 8th. I think some backdoor deals were done, in my opinion, but about a week before its scheduled arrival, that's when it was canceled. The team tasked with creating the code for Segwit2x shelved the plan due to a lack of consensus. So Segwit2x 2.0, man, this is horrible for PR, but I think this is good for the community as a whole, as far as cryptocurrencies, just to create and get people used to and understand what decentralization and free will to do whatever and see if the market will accept it. I think this is a good exercise for these types of things. But it says here, Segwit2x 2.0, the cancellation apparently only lasted so long as the fork was seemingly revived in late December by a different group of developers. A website has been set up stating the mission, the roadmap, and the team behind the new fork that was set to take place on Bitcoin block 501,000. So it says here, sketchy question mark. Reports began surfacing over the past several days that focus on several inconsistencies on the project's homepage. First and foremost, the team behind the new fork has nothing to do with the people behind the original New York agreement in the Segwit2x that was canceled in November. So that's the first red flag. There is very little information available online about the team members listed on the official site, for example. So it kind of goes under that. And then moreover, the project's GitHub account is just 9 days old as of press time, which makes it even younger than some of the earlier announcements of the upcoming fork in the press. That's hilarious. Also here, the paid for press release distributed to various blockchain related websites such as Bitcoinist and even the Russian language vc.ru were highlighting the tremendous increase in the value of the futures contracts of the new Segwit2x, just as some other news outlets have been voicing concerns about the intentions of the team behind the project. So one other thing I just want to mention that was a concern was the whole idea behind a pre-mine. So there was a pre-mine of some of these tokens, and it says here the list of reasons for suspicion is the bizarre promise to issue a proportional number of Satoshi Nakamoto's bitcoins to all BTC holders after the fork takes place. No indication has been offered of how would the team actually be able to access the coins that have been held by the mysterious creator of Bitcoin since the earliest days of its existence. So I do want to just state, though, I think there was a misunderstanding about that whole release of Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoins. The pre-mine was really the original value that reflected Satoshi's coins. It wasn't actually his coins. They were pre-mined by him or her in testing and proof of concept. So by executing the code this way, they locked the original account from getting the new coins, which they plan to distribute. So I don't know whether or not they do it. It's kind of up in the air, but it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple concept in my opinion, and it's not really sketchy, since they are literally explain this and the code is there for everyone to see. So, you know, I guess that part I understood. However, I don't understand why they so this to me is more along the lines of how people are viewing Bitcoin Cash. This is nonsense. You know, this is a direct play on a fork that was canceled, and then a new team tried to revive it. So what will happen though, it's bad for PR for Bitcoin. However, the market will dictate and place value where value should be placed. So Bitcoin Cash current value is $2,000 and $400 or whatever. Bitcoin Core value in the market is $13,000. Ethereum $843. Like, so the value will be placed where it should be placed. Okay, so I don't think this is something we should worry about. However, it is bad for PR, again, as I've stated, and I'm sure there will be even more, and will be very confusing for newcomers. And I think Coinbase being a kind of a gatekeeper to a lot of newcomers in the US, they won't even have to worry about these other Bitcoin forks. I believe that Coinbase takes their name, their brand seriously, and so they'll only add coins that they feel will better the community. And I'm hearing rumors about Ripple being added. I don't agree with that Ripple concept or whatnot, but it's not necessarily, it's not like a scam coin. It's just not, it's a coin that's more centralized and is not following what many of us in the community feel a decentralized currency should look like, but it's not a scam coin, right? So they won't add cryptocurrencies that are total scams. Coinbase, that is. They won't do that. So with them adding Bitcoin Cash, as I've stated before, is a big bullish move for Bitcoin Cash. Whether you like Roger Ver, the miners in China, hijack Japan, whatever these, you know, all these stories, some and which some may be true, but it doesn't matter. It's not. It's what is available to the masses at places like Coinbase. That's what really matters, because that will directly affect the adoption rate and adoption percentage of these cryptocurrencies. So that's just my 2 Satoshis. I of course love to hear what you guys have to say about this topic. This Segwit2x 2.0. Man, this is getting ridiculous. But that's pretty much it, people. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, click that bell. That's very important. That will make sure you are alerted for every video I upload. And last but not least, make sure you join us in that Webbot chat room. I'll leave the link of that in the description of this video. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Happy New Year. Holla. Go. Go. It's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday.